Ava always dreamed in color. Not the blurry, half-forgotten kind of dreams most people had. Hers were vivid, detailed, real. She could smell the ocean, feel the sand, hear conversations that stayed in her head long after she woke up. But lately, her dreams had changed. Every night she found herself in the same place, a small seaside town that didn't exist on any map. White cottages, cobblestone streets, a lighthouse that blinked twice, then paused, then once again. The people there knew her name. They smiled and said, "Welcome home, Ava." Every morning she'd wake up in her real apartment in Chicago, her heart pounding, her pillow wet with tears she couldn't explain. The drawings. Ava was an illustrator for children's books, and after a week of these dreams, she started sketching what she saw. The lighthouse, the yellow café on the corner, the blue bicycle leaning against the same lamppost every night. Her coworkers laughed. "You've created a whole fantasy world," they said. But Ava didn't tell them about the man. In every dream, he stood near the edge of the pier, always the same distance away, always watching her, not menacing, just waiting. She called him the Watcher. The real-world glitch. One Monday morning, Ava stopped by a local art shop. As she paid for new pencils, the clerk handed her change with a casual smile. "You live down by Seabrook, right?" he asked. Ava froze. "What did you say?"
"Seabrook," he repeated. "You've got that accent." Her stomach turned. "Seabrook isn't real." The man blinked. "Sure it is. My cousin lives there, tiny coastal town about 4 hours north." He looked confused when she dropped the coins and ran out. Back home, she opened her laptop and searched every map, every travel site, every GPS app. Nothing. No Seabrook. But when she zoomed in on the northern coastline, she saw something strange. A faint outline of land in the ocean, like someone had half erased an island. When she clicked on it, her screen glitched and went black. The disappearing hours. That night, Ava dreamt again, only this time she woke up exhausted, her hands covered in sand. She told herself she'd fallen asleep at the beach near her apartment, but the sand was coarse, white, not from anywhere near Chicago. She began to lose time. Once, she woke up standing at her window with seawater dripping from her hair. Another morning, there was a shell on her nightstand, smooth, pink, and still damp. She started leaving her phone camera on when she went to bed, hoping to catch herself sleepwalking. At 2:13 a.m., the screen went fuzzy. For 3 full minutes, static filled the frame. And then, faintly, a reflection appeared. Her own silhouette, standing beside a man at the edge of a dock. The Watcher. The letter. A week later, Ava received an envelope with no return address. Inside was a single page of thick parchment. "You are close now. Don't be afraid when the waves change color." By E. No stamp. No postmark. And the handwriting looked familiar. Her own. That night she dreamed again. But this time, everything was brighter, sharper. Children laughed in the distance. The cafe bell chimed. She saw her own drawings pinned to a notice board near the lighthouse. And the Watcher finally spoke.
"You've been here before, Ava. You just forgot how to come back." She tried to ask what he meant, but he only said, "When you wake up, follow the light." The last morning. The next morning, the sun poured through her curtains, and the light was the wrong color. It wasn't gold. It was the deep silver blue of ocean dawn. Her window overlooked water. The streets below were cobblestone. Seagulls wheeled overhead, calling out in the distance. She stumbled outside barefoot, dizzy, blinking against the brightness. The sign above the corner café read, "The Seabrook Coffee House." She wasn't dreaming. The town that remembered. People waved as if they knew her. A woman selling flowers said, "Welcome back, Ava." She followed the main road to the pier, her heart racing. The watcher stood there, smiling softly. Up close, he looked familiar. Her own face reflected faintly in his blue eyes, like mirrors of each other. "Who are you?" she whispered. "I'm what you left behind when you stopped believing." And suddenly, it came back. Flashes of a childhood summer, a town she'd drawn over and over when she was little. The lighthouse, the streets, the sea. A world she'd created to survive the loneliness after her parents' divorce. She'd dreamed Seabrook into existence, and then forgotten it. But Seabrook hadn't forgotten her. The return. She lived there for what felt like weeks, maybe months. Every night, she watched the lighthouse flash twice, pause, then once again. Every morning, the air smelled like salt and paint and coffee. She sketched, laughed, felt whole again, until one day she found another letter on her doorstep. "Ava, the tide is changing. You can't stay here forever. E."
That night, the waves turned a strange silver color. The watcher met her by the pier. "It's time," he said. "The dream can't hold you when you're ready to live again." The sea began to rise, swirling around her ankles. She felt the pull, gentle but insistent. She reached for him. "Will I remember you?" He smiled. "You'll remember enough." Waking up. When Ava opened her eyes, she was back in her apartment. Morning sunlight spilled across her sketchbook. On the first page, in wet blue paint, was a perfect image of Seabrook's lighthouse, a place that still didn't exist on any map. But that evening, when she stepped outside, the air smelled faintly of salt. And far off, on the horizon where the city lights met the lake, she saw a tiny blinking light. 2 flashes, a pause, then one again. Sometimes the places we dream about aren't meant to vanish when we wake. Sometimes they're waiting for us to remember them.